Hey, y'all.
We hope you've just not had a good day, but a great day. And so this is Advice in Southern Tales, and I'm Leah, and this is the co-host Amanda. And we just want and give some advice because this is true, okay? So tonight we were talking about, we had taken some notes the other night. Remember what you said about we could write off something because it was our...
Well, first of all, we got to get the copyrights out. Like, this is only for entertainment purposes only.
That's right.
And our advice is only our opinion. Now, go forward.
So we took some notes the other night. We were on a phone call, and Amanda said we could make this into our business and write it off because we're using them for this business. And then she said we could write off our electricity because we have to plug in our phones to charge them.
Yeah.
Right?
And the reason I said that was because I feel like we're here to make people laugh and just have fun at least 2 times a week on a regular basis. And we just wanted to make everybody have a laugh because we tried to write a book one time and it didn't work out. We couldn't never get that together. We decided we were going to do a podcast, and I said, I believe in us so much that I feel like it's going to turn into a business, which it would be a job like I have that you enjoy doing. Because to a business, it would be deductibles.
Would you still cut hair if
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I would still work too, but I have to work 5 more years because, you got to get that 25-year teacher retirement. And I stayed at home when my kids were little.
What's the age that you get the top Social Security? Is it 70? I get all that mixed up. It's so confusing.
70 is for top Social Security, but
yeah. So we're 57, so that'd be 67, 68, 69, 70. So 13 more years would be when I would, if I was going to retire, I would retire and draw the top Social Security. But I just feel like I just want to keep working. I don't want to ever stop working. I've always kidded with my customers and said I'd be hobbling around the chair with a cane, but I'd want to be there.
No, I'll probably, when I do get the 25 years, I'll probably retire from my position in the school district. But I'll probably always teach swimming lessons.
Oh, yeah. I hope you do because you're so good at it.
It's a passion. And teaching is too, but I make more money teaching swimming lessons than I do teaching school. So the job I have now, I'm a parent educator. So that reminds me, we've got some questions tonight. See, I got in a rabbit hole. I was going to tell everybody the ADHD devil came tonight. Not the technology devil. We got on here pretty good tonight. We only said, "Can you hear me?" About
2 times. Yeah, I was going to say 2.
The microphone plugged up in the wrong place again. I need to put a little red dot or something by there so I know where to plug it.
On it.
See, I'm going off in a rabbit hole. But the ADHD devil came because we were talking, and Amanda's sister, our manager, her name's Leah, and she was on the phone with us too, and we were talking about some things that we could discuss on the podcast because she's trying to give us input.
And 15 years younger than us.
Yeah, so she knows how to do the technology. I was like, I need to write some of this down. And so I wrote it down. I looked for that blue Post-it note for 25 minutes before we got started, and I still can't find it.
That was right. Instead of us saying, "Can you hear me?" 10 times, it was you were looking for the paper.
Right.
And she said, "Leah, just put it in your notes on your phone, then you won't lose the piece of paper." See, we didn't even think of that.
How do you do that?
Well, she said you can even tell Siri to do that.
Yeah, I do know a little bit about the notes because I do know how to scan on notes. And that's a lifesaver.
I don't even know how to do that.
Well, it's really good. I'll teach you someday. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get into our questions tonight because this is going to be a fun evening and they are going to be good. All right, so I guess we're going to flip a coin to see who goes first.
Yeah, because I don't want to go first.
Well, let me get my quarter. Heads or tails? Heads or tails?
Heads, I'm always pick that.
It's heads. No, I'm kidding. Well, let's just get started. Okay, so your question is, Amanda, What is the thing that has happened in your hair salon?
Okay, I've had my own hair salon. The only time I didn't have my own hair salon was when I worked for somebody for 3 months coming straight out of beauty school. So, but the funniest thing that happened to me ties into that first job that I had for 3 months before I had my own salon. So I'm going
Okay.
to start there. So
Okay.
it was a customer that came in, and it was one of my brother's friends. It was in a salon with, and back then we called it beauty shop. It was in a beauty shop with two other ladies. I started cutting his hair, and right off the bat, I cut his ear. Now, I didn't cut it bad, I just nicked it. And then I
Well,
told him, I bent down and I said, shh, don't say anything. I don't want them to know that I cut your ear. And he said, okay. And I kept blotting the blood off of his ear while I was finishing cutting the rest of it.
ooh, I bet that hurt.
Anyway, no, I don't think so, because it was just a barely little nick, but it wasn't
Okay.
my ear anyway, so I was thinking it probably didn't hurt. He paid, and, he left good, and then I got my own salon right after that, and then he was one of my first customers, and when he came in to get a haircut, the same person, I was cutting his hair, and I think we started reminiscing on the fact that I had cut his ear the last time I cut his hair. And when I started laughing, y'all, this is embarrassing to say, and I never thought I would ever, but I literally farted, and it wasn't no getting out of it. I was looking for some way to backstep out of that, but I could not. I was caught. So I just looked at him and I started laughing, and I said, I just farted, like
Did you say
that.
it?
I didn't spray hairspray, because when you do that is when other people are working, and it makes them wonder who did it. But I just said, no, I just farted. And I started laughing. He started laughing. So we had a good laugh out of that. And then in the real world today, I've had two people in front of me out loud that did that, but I pretended I did not hear it, and I was like bent over trying to do something to get myself together, because look, I'm the kind of person, I'm always going to laugh about that. It may not be the prim thing to do or the proper thing to do, but I think it's funny. So
Would they
I
see
tried
you
to
laugh?
get myself together, and then I stood up and I was like, so what are we going to do to you today? I acted like I never heard it.
Yeah.
But
Well,
two times in one day is a lot.
hey, let me tell you, that goes along with be kind.
Be kind. That's right.
As you know, I said the other night, if you can't fix it in 30 seconds, don't say it. Well, you can't even fix that. It
Well,
already
I
happened.
was trying to be kind to myself because I was trying to not laugh. I was really having a hard time
I know.
not losing control.
You were laughing on the inside.
I was laughing so hard, I think my belly was moving. They probably thought I had some real big gas.
Well, did it stink?
No,
No, you didn't
no,
smell.
huh?
Two people did that today?
Two people. One, I was coming out of the bathroom and she was coming in the bathroom. We kind of met face to face, and she dropped her phone and she picked it up and she said, just call me Grace. I laughed and I was like, and then I turned the corner to go to my room, and when I heard her going in, I heard her going there, and I told my customer, I said, I'm so sorry, but look, I'm going to share with you right now because I think this is funny and I think you need to laugh. And I told her the story, and we both laughed long enough to make us not have to do exercise tonight.
This reminds me of a
I
funny
was.
story. So, one time I love the Grand Hotel in Point Clear, Alabama. It's on Mobile Bay. And let me
I've
tell you,
never been there.
oh, it's awesome because you don't have to leave once you get there. And if you have children,
Really?
they have a great swimming pool, a water slide, they have a putting green, croquet, they've got the Bay Beach, so you don't have to worry about the big waves.
Near Gulf Shores or Pensacola or what?
It's near Fairhope, Alabama. That's where I want to retire.
Yeah, I don't know where that is.
I don't know if I can afford it though, but you know that tunnel you go through in Mobile? Yes. Okay. We were going, I had a little friend that I had taught, and she grew up and she was a person that worked down there at that hotel. So she got me the mama rate. And I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
had the best room in the whole hotel. Like I walked out onto the beach. But the funny story is we were going down there and I had invited my sister and all her kids and my mom. It's a family trip. So all the cousins could play.
Mm-hmm.
And we were going, my mom, they call her Gran, we had to stop, of course, and go to the bathroom, kids and Gran. So we stopped, and I didn't have to go because I think we'd stopped 30 minutes earlier. But anyway, it took us like 10 hours to get there when it usually would take like 3. My mom came and got in the car with my niece, and she said, I'm so proud of Merritt. And I thought, well, she bought a pack of gum, and Merritt said thank you or something. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, well, what did Merritt do? Because I wanted to brag on her too. She said, well, there was this lady in the bathroom, and she tooted. And Merritt didn't laugh. Okay.
I just like,
And
I'd have been like, what?
and we saw those people pull up. They were getting out when we are. And she said, and she had such a nice boat. And I thought, now how does tooting in the bathroom and having a nice boat, where is that coming from? But that generation, you just don't do this.
Right. And
You
you
don't let that
especially don't laugh about it. That's the reason why I'm
no.
so condemned feeling. But I
You
do
laughing
laugh.
inside. I'm proud of you. You did good. We, like I said, we had a hard time getting started tonight because we're dumb and dumber. But I was dumber tonight because we always have these technology issues.
You run a close race on that.
This is my question. Okay, Miss Staggard, I am a teacher. How do you get your students to stay focused? Okay, well, I can answer
Oh,
that.
I can help you if you don't have the answer because I feel like it's your ventriloquist because I relate your class to me as a kid and think if I had seen a teacher do a ventriloquist, I would have been carried away.
I'm glad you feel that way. But
No,
first
yeah.
of all, let me say this. The most important thing in getting kids' attention is relationships. I always had a relationship with my children. They said, we're a family. So,
Mm-hmm.
if they got in trouble and they had to go out in the hall or they did something that was breaking a rule or, whatever, I would go out there and I would go, I forgive you.
Hey, I forgive you. That humbles them more than anything.
And then they will most likely
They
be
will
honest.
come down to your level because they feel bad. When you
Right.
forgive them, that is huge.
Right. And, I always tell teachers to tell your students that you love them because sometimes they may not hear that from anybody else but you. Every day when the kids were leaving, I would say, I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. So you have to have the relationship with your students. That is the most important thing. Treat them like you want to be treated. It goes back to the golden rule. Well, sometimes kids were like us growing up because we were the ADHD kids
And
and
didn't know it.
didn't know it. I don't even think they had a name for it.
Mm-mm.
We just thought it was dumb and dumber. Let me
They
tell you,
called it daydreaming.
yes, it is real.
Mm-hmm.
My mother told me once, she said, always remember the most unlovable child is the one that needs the most love.
Say that again. Say that again.
The most unlovable child is the child that needs the most love. Okay.
Dang. That took 2 times to sink in on me.
It's deep, isn't it? Well, I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of teachers are not neurodiverse like us, like ADHD or dyslexic.
They are, they don't own up to it. We
Well,
own up to it.
yeah, but I'm just
We,
saying, most
no, I
of them,
really do think that people don't want to admit it, but we have admitted it.
it's okay. Gift. So
Hey, and we're actually good and okay.
that's right. So
Yeah.
see, I lost my train of thought again. But
Well, you're going to have to name yours like mine's called Lucille. So Lucille is in tune right now.
I just think a lot of teachers are very rigid because they're the ones that are perfect. And when kids came in my room, they never knew what was going to be that day. The desk may be all rearranged when they
Well, you
walked
know
in.
what I can guess about that? You didn't know what was going to be that day either, all the way.
Ah, you got that right. It just came to me. I would write those lesson plans and submit them every week. But as I was turning them in, I'd be like, I don't know if this is all
You
going
know
to matter.
what? I feel like the system is making a mistake not paying attention to teachers like you that are creative. There are some that want everything to be written in front of them, and that's fine. It's like you are so creative.
But most teachers like me, they don't ever get out of school.
It's too sad, too bad, because you're right.
But we had a few teachers that appreciated our gifts, I guess.
It goes back to not judging. We don't
Right.
judge nobody. I mean, we do not judge because we do not want to be judged. We're not those people.
And so, I was the teacher that all the other teachers were my friends. If I wasn't their friend, I didn't know it because they were all my friends. But
Yeah.
another thing I would say, another thing is my classroom was my stage. And then I made it a children's stage. I had a microphone. I had puppets. They were able to write they took their puppets home and
Oh,
about it. And
by the way, I want you to demonstrate some of that because I want the people out there that we're hoping that will follow us because we feel like we can make you laugh every day. What's wrong with a laugh every day? But I want them to get to know you because you're so good with this that you make me believe what you're talking about. So please introduce some of those ventriloquists.
I do. I have them here. So Charlie, his mouth is not moving good, so I want to show y'all. This is Charlie.
Charlie looks different without his cowboy hat.
Hey, Miss Amanda, you looking real pretty tonight.
Well, hey, Charlie. Thank you.
Love me still? I said every time you got to see me, you'll get to love me.
Oh, I do love you more. I did always love you, but you kind of scared me a little bit.
Well, why my students weren't scared is because I showed them this string, and I showed them that Charlie's mouth moved when I pulled this string. Well, it's kind of broken. We're going to have surgery on him again.
But it is something freaky about dang ventriloquist. You know what I mean? It's like,
Okay, we're going to keep it PG-13. All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Bleep out.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to say that, but I'm okay. I said it.
It's fine.
Go ahead.
Okay, so my other ventriloquist doll, this is Lola. And
Lola. I'm glad to meet her because I feel like I've met her.
Yeah, because I've told you stories about her.
She's the one that bought the cookies in the lunchroom.
Right. She's always telling on Charlie, the assistant teacher, and he orders the other puppets around. So if you're on the podcast, if you're listening and not the video podcast, you won't be able to see this. But she has a trigger on her like a water gun. One of those cheap ones, not those.
Yeah.
But you just do it.
And it makes her move her mouth. That's what moves it.
Yeah, you just do
that
it
is so neat.
But also I tell them that she's like an owl because her head will rotate 360 degrees.
I forget what that movie is where that woman's head goes all the way around. Something about wives' clubs. Lola's cute, and I don't want you to make her head rotate all the way around because that kind of freaks me out just a little bit.
You can see it.
I did see it. That's why I said don't do it again.
Okay, I won't do it again. But
yeah, I want you to demonstrate how you talk for Lola in your classroom, like what they hear.
He's bad, but I'm real sweet. She's lying. All right, so those are my.
Oh my goodness, that was like awesome.
Look how cute they are.
Like, if you ever did make a living doing just that, I'll be the wardrobe changer on the puppet. What other puppets? What other ventriloquists do you have?
Well, Lola has a twin brother. His name's Lester.
Okay, well let's introduce him.
I don't have him tonight. I have to go upstairs and find him, but I do have some of the other ones. So
introduce them.
Okay, so this is Charlotte. She is a hand puppet, and so I teach this to the children. She has no trigger, no string, but you just put your hand in there, and then you're able to move her.
So introduce her like you would introduce her to the children.
Everybody, my
name is Charlotte. I hope that y'all will want to take me to your house and write about me and all the fun things.
It is.
I
It's
love
wonderful.
it.
And one thing I do is I use it for writing.
I just love that.
And just the children from seeing me demonstrate and the tone of my voice, then they find their voice for their puppet.
And you don't sound like a bass singer right now.
Well, they have to get in front of the microphone and they have to have their puppet, and we have the puppet sitting up there, and they have to read what they wrote. Now, some of them, they don't write it. So they just make up the words, and that's fine because they're getting in front of the microphone. They're getting themselves out there. So after Christmas, after Christmas, I changed from first person to third person. They have to write in third person.
See, that's already going over my head. That's going over my head.
Okay, well, my second graders knew because I would say, now you have to write from the puppet's perspective. So you have to write as the puppet. So let me show you another one.
Oh, my. Yeah, introduce another one.
And they would say some of the funniest things. I remember this one little girl. Well, I can't say that. But anyway, so this is... I told y'all the kids say a lot. Teachers know more.
Well, we laugh at each other just the same, too.
Okay, so this is another hand puppet. This is Braxton.
Okay. Hey, Braxton.
Braxton, everybody. And I am a twin.
Okay, so that's Braxton. So after Christmas, when they would start writing in third person, they would have to get up there and go like,
at JoJo's house. When I was at JoJo's house, first we ate dinner. Then JoJo had to do his homework. Finally, his mom read us a bedtime story, and it was so good. Yay! And then he told me that I didn't have any teeth to brush, and I said that was not very many teeth.
Listen, that's like going to a cinema.
well, I used to be a professional storyteller.
I know.
I had gotten to my puppets. And when I had my job interview for my teaching job, the principal asked me, she said, well, Miss Staggart, I see you're a professional storyteller. She said, if you don't mind me asking, how do you become a professional storyteller? And I said, you just charge. And if people will pay you, then you're a professional. So like when people start paying us on the podcast or whatever, we will be professional podcasters.
We'll be considered professional.
That's right.
Good.
But she laughed. She thought that was the funniest thing. She said, you didn't get a degree or anything? I said, no, I just charged. And so I just took a resume up there and said, I'm a former teacher because I had been, and my children were little. I wanted to work part-time. So I actually got on with the Alabama and Mississippi Arts Commission, where they would pay me to go into schools, go into libraries, and do storytelling. So maybe our next episode, I'll tell a story.
I hope so.
And and then our listeners could share it with their children, because my favorite stories are the not so scary stories. And, it's something easy to remember. And I would tell them, I say, now, if you go home and tell somebody this story, I said, I'll pay you $1 tomorrow. And they wanted $1 because if they got 25, they got a free snow cone. And all it was that cafeteria ice. And I would go to Target, and sometimes Miss Connie from Connie Cones would give me snow cone syrup, and it was good. Then all the teachers would come down there and go, you got some snow cones today? And so that was their goal, to get those $1. But that was another way that I made it fun. So back to the question, I'm going to wrap it up with this. I would say, first of all, have good relationships with your students. Then you have to make them want to please you, that you love them, you care, and that you got them wrapped around your finger. And then the last thing is make your classroom a stage. Storytelling increases retention 95%. So that would be my advice. Take it or leave it. You don't like it, don't use it. And I know everybody can't do what I do.
Like it or leave it or love it. I love it. That would make the difference in me making a D than an A.
Right. Right.
is your storytelling.
Okay. Well, anyway.
But anyway, we got to sign off tonight on this one. Hey, what's our logo?
Love others.
And be kind.
And you know what I forgot was our sponsor break. This
Oh, well, just do it now. It's not too late because we are the ones that's running this.
And if we need sponsors, maybe, is this called Bally? Bally?
Let me put on my glasses and see.
This coconut water I'm drinking.
Bally. I think I would call it Bally. I've had that. I like it.
It's so good.
It's really good. It's refreshing.
Anyway, you know, if they want to sponsor us, but tonight we are sponsored by Thaggart Swimming Lessons, Leah Thaggart Swimming Lessons. So remember, safety before swimming. No, seriously though.
But anyway, we love talking to y'all.
We love y'all. And if you have made it this far, please remember, like and follow our show. We just like encouragement, no bad comments.
Question that you want answered.
Email Southern.
Yeah, just email but don't send anything that puts us in a predicament.
Yes, adviceandsoutherntales@gmail.com. Love y'all.
Yeah.
Bye.
Love you too. Bye.